Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SF1 GP1 here for round 19 United States Grand Prix. The season is coming to a close after this race. Only 3 races are going to remain. It is getting definitely heated up. A couple of the drivers missing this evening. You can understand why. A little bit of a holiday, extended holiday break for some of them. But we are here with SF1 Tom going out. We've opted to go for short qualifying as a couple of the drivers that are here. I think there's one of them. SF1 Carlos is going to fill in for Jono and that McLaren this evening. So these guys are or have opted to go for short qualifying. However, that's not the big story. The big story is one of these men on this track can secure a drivers championship, his first GP1 championship here in this league. Can he do so? And that man is Harrison. He was sitting in the pits currently, and he's a little unhappy as I just got a little bit of news coming down the pipeline that this race is going to start absolutely pouring at the very beginning of the race. It is going to be a very mental one to say the least, but shout out to everybody that is tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoy this stream. Let's see who can get qualifying done and dusted, who can get pole position here, as it is short qualifying, so it's going to opt for some of these guys to switch up some of their strategies as you would currently from a full qualifying where you have Q1, Q2, Q3. This is 18 minutes, and that's it. That's all these guys have to set a lap to try to get themselves at the front of the grid at the start of the race to see those 5 lights go out. Bear in mind, I'm getting myself ready to sipping on some of my coffee as we go. One second, ladies and gentlemen. Got a little message from SF1 Carlos. All right, trying to get that sorted, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. We have Zero clocking in a 130.4. We have Enzo putting in a 30.7. Chattalulu is a 31.4. SF1 Tom puts in a 31.8. Keeping an eye on some of the other guys. Where's Arussia? He's invalidated this lap around, and that's going to be it for the rest of the guys who are running currently. Mattis Gamer Boss is thinking about doing a different strategy. He's going to put on possibly a medium compound and do his first run. Typically, with short qualifying, you have a 3-window lap time to get yourself sorted. I know a lot of the guys will go for a medium run for the first lap to kind of get the feeling of how the track is feeling, and they'll go for a soft run, and then they'll go for their hot lap, I guess you would call it. Looks like Gamer Boss is going to come out on a medium compound. Hub D is going to do the same. However, the compounds aren't going to make a difference when it comes race time because it's going to be pouring rain. Hopefully, how is everybody doing so far this week? Hopefully everybody's enjoying their weekend. I know my weekend has been very good. Spent a lot of time with the wife and the daughter. It was a wonderful Saturday. Back to the job though on Sunday. Looks like Stig feeling very unwell this evening. Gonna give him a big shout out for even putting himself into the car. He wants to make sure he gets his points because he is in a tight Titanic battle for P3 in the championship. as Anton, who's sitting P2, not able to make it this evening. I believe he's with one of the other. Whoa, that was close. Not sure who that was. Keep an eye on tomorrow. All right. Keep an eye on a lot of these guys. Stig gonna start his out lap, flyer lap now. See if anybody else has put in a time. Shoof has put in a lap, but I think he has 140.3, which is definitely a little slower. I think he might have turned off and uncooked that lap. Here he is for a flyer though. Definitely, he's got a hot lap engaged. Definitely going to be running qualifying or quali max. There's a Renault off the track. I believe that's soap. That is soap. No, my mistake. Anton is here. Peace. There he's gonna put in. He's invalidated this lap. Keep an eye on the rest of these guys. So I'm still catching my bearings. How is everybody? That boy on a flyer. We'll see these times come in. So it's going to be a little different than usually. I start streaming at Q3, and all of those laps matter. So a couple of these laps, definitely just getting benchmark laps in, testing the track out, seeing how the car feels. I mean, it's going to change quite a bit when the race comes because they're going to have a lot of rain. Oh boy, getting a little loose out of that corner. The back end stepping out on him. Nine, some of these other guys. Hub D on an out lap. Stig goes at 31.9 for his first lap out, just behind SF1 Tom's 31.8. Zero, still the time to beat here in this session. 30.4. Enzo the closest, 30.7. So just about 2.5 tenths in between the two. Keep an eye on the rest of these guys. Anton invalidating this lap as well. Must have been through the S's. I know that catches a lot of people out. Penalties on this track are going to be a major factor this evening. But I'll give you guys a little look at the man who's leading the championship. Give him a big shout out. He's on the medium compound right now as well. All he has to do this evening is finish this race P7 or greater, no matter what else happens, and that title will be his. And SF1 Tom has crashed out. Where is he crashed out at? Or is he retired? He's retired in the pits. I think he's comfortable with a 31.8. I take it. So he's going to start this race. Maybe he's trying to save some of the tires because I do know that the tire or the weather indication does dry up towards the end of the race. So we'll see how much it does dry up. Hellboy sets a purple sector 1. Keep an eye on the rest of these guys. Zero. Shadalulu, Russia, who just improved. Manif Gamer Boss goes to P5 on a medium compound. Enzo, no, that's my mistake. Enzo improves to a 30.3, taking the top. What? Harrison's retired from the session. I wonder if he's a little nervous about the rain that's coming in. Robert's saying, go Josh. Robert, a fellow GP3 Mercedes driver, locked into a battle with the Alfa Romeo team for that the combined construction towards the end of the year. TS Enzo is 30.3. Zero sitting in the pits. Shadow Lulu's on his way out. Russia goes up to P4. That is Gamer Boss. P5 currently. So P6. Tom retires. Sitting at P7 right now. Stig is P8. Hellboy P9. Shoof is, I think, having a little bit of trouble. He's definitely. Oh, he's out of fuel. He's out of fuel, so he's going to have to pull into the pits. He definitely has plenty of time, though. Anton sitting in the pits now. Amandale on a flyer. SF1 Carlos sitting in the pits. I believe he should possibly retire. Amandale looks like he's invalidated this lap as well. Thank you, Rain Gods, for cheering me up and making me feel a bit better. Well, Stig, if it's the Rain Gods that you enjoy, I'll make sure that anytime it rains here, I'll ask the gods to send it your way. See if Amandale can set up for another lap. He's turned everything down. Looks like he should have just enough ERS to give it a go. He's going to pull it into the pits, though. SF1 Carlos is going to come out. Take a look through. Chattalulu on a flyer. Yes, he is. So we're going to stick with him and see if he can improve on his 31.0. He's locked up heavily into that hairpin. Goes purple sector 2. So the track is improving, which it typically does in a short qualifying. The longer the session does pan on, the quicker the track does get. So I mean, I'm sure a lot of these guys might start touching the 30s. See if Enzo can touch something lower than a 30. Now Lulu coming up to finish this lap now. What is it going to be? 29:30.5, good enough for P3. Hold on, P3. What a good showing so far from the AlphaTauri team. P2 and P3 currently. Now, I have to say, Mattis Gamerbox goes up to a P4 on a old set of mediums. That just shows you how much this track is improving. Track is getting rubber down. Both Alphas sitting P8 and P9. Take a look now. Anton on a flyer. He's invalidated this lap as well. See if he's going to gear up for another lap. We'll jump on board with the driver for a hot lap around the United States Grand Prix. Crossing the start-finish line, holding onto that line. That's an interesting line. Notice that he's going to ride all the way up. Take it easy. Locks up heavily on the front left. You can see the clouds starting to set in already. Coming up to the S section is going to cut a lot of people this evening with penalties. Takes those nice and cleanly. Keeping the revs high. That way the car does turn in. Goes purple sector 1. Yet to get a time, so I think that's personal best. Goes a little wide. That might be... No, he didn't validate. Around this left hand to come down the backstretch. One of the longest on the calendar. He's going to have DRS now. Coming up to a heavy braking zone, hard left. He just about took that corner just right. Almost invalidates. Set to purple sector 2. I think that's still set for best time instead of session best. Coming up to the final sector, sector 3. A very, very long right-hand sweeper. Up to a quick left, easy on the brakes here. You just want to touch them, come down, glide that corner. Don't overextend. He's going to pull it into the pits, though. And flies it into the pits. So everybody else pulls in. Zero's going to give it another go. Invalidates this time around. Aruzia invalidates as well. Let's see if there's anybody else giving it a go. Stig is on a hot lap. Can he improve on his time as well as Hellboy? Hellboy's going through the S's. Jump back with SF on Stig. Coming up to finish this time around. He's going to have about 3 minutes to go. Can he improve on his 31.9? Locks up a little bit. It's going to be a 30.9, so he improves by a second. Goes P3. I wonder if a lot of these guys are going to be running a wet setup or if it's going to be more of a hybrid setup. Keep an eye on some of these other guys. Let's see. Zero's still on an invalidated lap. Aruzzi is giving it another go. Soap is going to give it another go. Sitting P7 currently at 31.6. Stick on board with Soap. We have 2 minutes and 23 seconds remaining. And before these guys finish up this qualifying, I'm going to go refill my coffee. So I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm back. So coming up to finish his lap, it looks like it's going to be an in lap. Hasn't improved. He might have improved. I might have missed it, but his teammate sitting P8, following a toe of somebody. Who is that? He's following Amadale for a nice cheeky toe. Schuf goes quickest with a 30.2. So besting Enzo and zero. Russia goes to a P4. Chattalulu P6. Who is going to get pole position? They have 50 seconds remaining of this session. Jump down. Amadale, he's on an out lap. I think he's clearing the way for some of these guys. Anton's going to start another flyer. Carlos, I think he's going to sit in the pits for this session as he is a reserve. Hubdy on an out lap. 30 seconds remain to cross that line. When they do cross the line, if you cross with a couple seconds remaining, your lap does count. I know that was different back in the old Formula One days, and they changed it. I can't recall what year they changed it. Here we go, Hubdy now on a flyer for his final lap. Can he improve on a 32.1? Everybody else is pretty much on a flyer except for Zero. Zero's going to sit in the pits and be okay with a 30.4. So his session is come to a close, as well as SF1 Carlos. Amandale, everybody's on a lap. So this is going to be the biggest thing. It's going to be different. Who is going to cross the line first? We have, I think it's Chattalulu. Goes and validates his lap and flies in the wall. That is a pretty heavy hit. We have Schuf who's going to cross the line. Enzo goes quick. It's a 30 flat. Schuf is going to come into the pits. We have somebody moving out. We have a Renault that's going to finish the lap now. It's going to be Soap. Can Soap improve on his time? It doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Couple guys now getting out of the way. Here comes Anton. Can he go best in the session for pole position here at United States Grand Prix? He invalidates that lap too, so he's going to start P12. Keep an eye on the rest of the guys. We have a Haas coming up. That is going to be Amadale. Or is that... That is Amadale. So Russia retired. Here comes Amadale. Can he get himself into the fray here in qualifying? 28, 29, goes session best with 29.8, besting his teammate. Mattis Gamer Boss takes it at the end with a 29.4. And we have a Alfa Romeo that's going to be Hubdy. What is he going to go? It goes P10 with a 31.5. Is that everybody done? That is everybody done here in qualifying. Short qualifying for Coda. Mattis Gamer Boss is going to grab pole position right at the tail end of this session, stealing it off the two Haas drivers, Amadale and Enzo, all setting a very close time. Schuf going to grab P4. What a drive from the Red Bull team as well as the Haas team. Both looking severely strong this evening. Can they convert that in the race when it is definitely going to be full of rain? We do have Schuf with a 5-second grid spot penalty. So whatever it might have happened, I did miss that. I'm not sure what happened. Harrison's going to start the race from P15, so he's going to put a little work on his shoulders this evening. Let's see race director, if I could. I want to see the incidents and how they got a grid penalty. Schuf had a collision with Harrison for a grid penalty. That might be why Harrison did not be able to set a lap there. But going to give you guys a rundown. Mattis Gamer Boss, P1, Amadale, P2. Later down the row, we have Enzo, Schuf, Zero, Aruzia, Stig, Chattalulu, Hellboy, Hubdy, Soap, Tom, Anton, Carlos, and Harrison. And ladies and gentlemen, there it is. There is the rain. So while we're waiting for these guys to set up the cars, pick their strategies, stand up and stretch, and get ready for this mental race that's going to be very, very tricky to drive. We're going to give you guys a run down the combined constructors so far. We have Alpha leading the way. This is as of Japan, so not with the GP3 or GP2 race that was held on Thursday and Friday. This is after the Japanese Grand Prix. right before the holiday break. But Alpha leading the way, Mercedes right there, as well as Haas. Haas are picking up a lot of points and becoming a threat towards the end of the season. Ferrari are sitting P4. Racing Point are fifth. We have AlphaTauri sixth, moving past Red Bull. We have Red Bull seventh. We have Renault sitting in eighth, moving past Williams, and we have McLaren sitting at the bottom. A little bit of troubles this season for McLaren. I have a feeling that that's going to change next season with the new team and new lineup. So don't think that everybody's staying at the same teams come next season. It is going to be quite a difference and a quite different look. But the points that everybody wants to see, the GP1 points. Here we are. Harrison leading the way by quite a comfortable margin. If he finishes tonight in P7 or greater, no matter what happens on that grid, he will grab that title championship, his first in SF1. And I know he's been pushing for it for 2 seasons. So can he get his way and get them get or not get his way, but can he get to that P7 and hold on to it? We have Anton sitting P2, missing a couple races this season due to obvious commitments. If he was here, it would have been a super titanic battle between him and Harrison. And this is where it gets really heated up. We have Zero, Stig, Enzo, and Schuf, as well as Amadeo coming into the fray, all fighting for that P3 remaining on that table for the rest of the season. And I have a feeling that's going to come down the whole way to Abu Dhabi at the final round. We have Aruzia sitting P8, Hubdi P9. We have Soap P10. We have Tom in 11th, Hellboy 12th, Jono not able to make it due to a nice broken finger he picked up a little while ago. He's still on the mend, I believe, sitting 13th. We have Chadaludu 14th. We have Lord, who's not here this evening, sitting 15th. We have Mattis Gamer Boss sitting 16th, and a couple other guys who are definitely not here this evening. But as we go, we're going to wait for these guys to set up the car, and we'll be live in no time. I'm going to rest my voice, sip on a little bit of coffee before we hit to this track. So stick with us, guys. It's going to be quite a race. Looks like these guys are ready to go. Just 8 seconds remain before we set off on this formation lap, ladies and gentlemen. Get yourself strapped in for the United States Grand Prix round 19 here at the United States Circuit of the Americas with a heavy rain coming down. Be interesting to see if these guys are going to have any type of wet weather tire on this car. Let's take a look once we load in. Let's see the details. Tire, it is full wet here at the United States Grand Prix. Mattis Gamerboss is going to start this race P1, followed by Amandale and Enzo. Zero sitting P4. We have Aruzia P5, SF1 Stig is P6, Chattalulu P7, Hellboy P8, Shoof P9, Hubsy P10. We have Soap P11. We have SF1 Tom P12, Anton P13, SF1 Carlos P14, and Harrison, our championship leader, is sitting in P15. What a titanic battle between Anton and Harrison if they can work their way through the field. SF1 Carlos is kind of sandwiched in between these two, so that's going to be a little bit different, but let's take a look down. Let's get the mini map off as well. Hold on 1 second. Wife is questioning what I'm saying, and it's funny. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready. 28 laps meet these drivers. Can they survive? We had a couple casualties in GP2. I think we only had 2, though, which is surprising. But I think a lot of people, except for one, the man who won that race, crossed the line without a penalty. Is that going to come into play this evening? Can these drivers keep it clean and not exceed these track limits too much where they pick up a time penalty? Looking down the rest of the field, it'll be interesting if they can convert the dry setup that they are running and qualifying into a wet setup here. I believe, I'm going to guess that we're going to go intermediates come lap 8 or 10. I do have the weather. Mr. Harrison was kind enough to send it over for me, but I can't put it up on the screen. I wish I could. My daughter is going absolutely crazy. She's not very happy right now. Let me see if I can tell you the time. It could give us an indication. So they say heavy rain at the beginning of the race. 20 minutes in, it's going to become light rain, and 45 minutes in, it's going to be out of here. So, like I'm saying, lap 8, I think we'll go about into intermediates. But everybody lining up for the grid here. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. How's this start going to go? Very, very wet uphill onto a left-hander. Everybody pretty much pulling into their grid spots. Thank you for the follow, Ken. Really do appreciate it. Get ready for a solid race. Here we are for the beginning of the United States Grand Prix. If I can get a better camera angle, Codemasters, that would be great. I'd like to see the front of the pack, not the back of the pack. We have somebody spinning a dial, I believe. There we are. No, we might be a little desynced. Who is it? Anton's car is bouncing up and down. I don't think anybody else's car is moving. Soap has left the session. Alright, we have a big O Soap blocking out. Here we go. 5 red lights at the United States Grand Prix are lit, and we are away for the start of this race. It looks like Amandale gets a really good start coming up the hill. Mattis Gamerboss a little loose. Oh, we have a Mercedes. That's a Aruzia into the wall. Into turn 1. Both has look like they're going to take 1 and 2 as Red Bull runs deep. He's going to have to rejoin a little bit later. Look at the pack fighting into the S's here. Coming in lap 1. Keep it clean, guys. A lot of tight battles. The Haas guys are pulling away quite nicely here at the beginning of the race. It's on their way exactly how they wanted it to. Look at the rain coming down. We have... Alright, let me jump back through. Do we have a virtual safety car already? These guys aren't going super fast. No, there's nothing indicated. See if anybody's really battling. We have Soap joining back in. That's good to see. A couple guys really battling it out. I think that's Shoof having a go at one of the Renaults. Keep an eye on these guys as jump on board. See how much spray is coming off the cars ahead. Not as much as I would have expected. Let's see if anybody's super close. Soap not yet able to take his car. Easy on the brakes. Does it. I believe this is Hub D. Everybody battling quite nicely here. Both McLarens. That is Aruzia. So both the Haas leading the way. One of the Alfa Romeos had one heck of a start. Starting now to catch the Haas drivers. Mattis Gamer Boss having a little bit of a terrible, I don't want to say a little bit terrible. Say not the start he wanted. Falls to P4, but still within that line. We have Anton running a bit deep, but ladies and gentlemen, that's lap 1 in the books. So we're going to get the Delta back up for you. And the Delta's going to be all screwy because it usually is. Love watching you stream, bros. Thank you. Thank you, Croce. I really appreciate it. Sector 3 yellow. Is that Aruzia again? Oh, no. That was Soap, I believe. Or is that somebody else? So Aruzia is going to pull into the pits and fix that front wing. Heavy damage to the front right. Stig is not in the lead. I know he's not. The Haas guys are having a cracking race so far. Chattalulu says it's P3, but he's not P3, I believe. Here it is, starting to fix itself. Ooh, Mattis Gamer Boss is really coming on fire on the back of that Alfa Romeo. These two kind of in a class of their own this evening. This is what I was talking about on that combined constructors. Is Haas are starting to sneak up into contention with those two ahead of them, Alfa Romeo and Mercedes. As you guys can see, both of them leading the way. It says SF1 Carlos is leading the way in this race. And I can clearly tell you he's down in P14. Aruzia just behind him in P15. How about the Delta? Everybody's they're a little close. Stig getting closer to Enzo. Keep it on board with these guys, all battling for it looks like P2. A lot of guys. Zero is making his charge up to that podium position. The rain is still coming down. Let's jump on board with Zero. Give you guys a little look at what he's seeing in this race. Is it just me, or has the rain gotten heavier? It's definitely gotten a little heavier. Zero following the Big Brother team. Red Bull just ahead of him with Mattis Gamer Boss coming into the first turn. Easy on the throttle. Back will step out. You can see how much these guys are feathering the throttle. Zero looks like he's dialed in for this race, though. His car seems to suit the track and the conditions right now. Schuf gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Sector 1 and 2 yellow. Something might have happened between the two McLarens, or don't know, Thompson in the pits for an intermediate compound. Wonder if it's a little too soon as Anton's making his way up next to Zero. Shoulder to shoulder. Looks like Anton's going to stick right behind the AlphaTauri for the meantime. No, he's going to hold on to the side. Are they going to go side by side into that turn? They're both chasing Mattis Gamer Boss just ahead of them. It looks like Anton puts the car in. Will he make the turn, or is Zero going to have a switchback? No. Anton's worked his way already up to P5 here. Quinning, thank you so much for the follow. Aruzia gets a 3-second time penalty. I missed one, but Hellboy has gotten himself a 3-second time penalty. So already lap 3, and 3 of these drivers have a time penalty to their name. They are going to start to tick off. Mattis Gamer Boss trying to hold on to the back of that Alfa Romeo driver, SF1 Stig. SF1 Stig severely under the weather, so big props to him this evening for showing up. And it looks like he's going to pop into the pits. I wonder if he's going to put on the intermediates already. Stick on board as SF1 Tom has. Schuf has dove for the pits. A lot of guys. Harrison has dove. Hellboy has dove. Intermediates are going on to that Alfa Romeo. How about Harrison? Harrison in the Mercedes pit. Yes, intermediates for him as well. Is it the crossover point already? Amadeo leading the race by 1.8 seconds, following his teammate, Mattis Gamer Boss, 2.3 seconds down the road from P2. and a fast pack of guys chasing them down. We have Anton and Zero having a go at each other here for P4. Anton working his way around Zero last lap around. Anton closing in on the Red Bull driver. He is flying in this rain. I believe this is the first rain we've had all weekend for these guys. Even in GP3 or GP2, I think GP3 had a little bit of rain at the end of the qualifying session, but that was it. Mostly everybody had a dry session, especially a dry race. So leave it to GP1 to have the wet race. No better than these guys to have the more challenging set of races. Can Anton get closer to that Red Bull and think about a move, or is he going to pull into the pits for the intermediates as well? Jump on board. Oh, he's gotten himself a 3-second time penalty. He's going to dive into the pits, as well as Mattis Gamer Boss. Enzo's going to stay out. I believe Almadale has pulled in the pits, so they do not want to double stack that Haas team. Mattis Gamer Boss sets the fastest lap of the race while pulling into the pits. I think that's a little off. I'm not sure. Abdi pulls in the pits as Stig pitted last lap around. Where is that going to put him out? There is a car coming out now. Stig moves back up to P3. Mattis Gamer Boss, Anton, and Zero all coming out of the pits at the same time. So this man kind of left to dry, really. Enzo still on the track with wets as Soap and it's Juan Carlos are on wets, but they're going to pull in the pits as well. Tom sets the fastest lap on intermediate, so it's definitely intermediate condition. See if this man can hold on for about another half a lap so he can pull into the pits. But you're going to see that delta between himself and his teammate diminish quite quickly. It was 15 seconds at that turn, and now it's 14 seconds. Amandale is putting that throttle down. Amandale, Stig in P3 right now, but P2 on the grid. Mattis Gamer Boss has Anton just behind. We have a move for Hellboy and Harrison. I just missed it. We're going to jump back on board with these two battling it out. The Renault versus the Mercedes. Can Hellboy work his way and work his magic? Right now, Harrison not in the points that he needs to capture that title. He needs 7th or better. Sitting P8 currently. However, Schoof does have a time penalty. Still keeping an eye on those gaps. Enzo pulls into the pits for his intermediate compound. Boy, it looks like he's losing a little bit more time to Harrison in that Mercedes. Anton trying to hold on to the back. Stig sets the fastest lap of the race with a 48 flat. And who's pitted? Oh, Enzo's coming out of the pits now. So unfortunate for him. He's going to drop to P5, allowing his teammate to pit before him. On track, Zero's going to have a go at him coming up to the S's. This is going to be close, side by side. Enzo knows better. He's not going to attack right there. Save it for the backstretch. Lovely aerial camera. I do love these. As people that have watched my streams here at SF1. They are the best cameras on these games. Unfortunately, you can't choose the cameras. So at lap 12, I will give you guys a rundown of the time penalties so far, as we do have 5 of them currently on this grid. Anton still trying to chase down Mattis Gamer Boss. Mattis Gamer Boss getting closer to SF1 Stig. Amandale kind of in a world of his own, 2.2 seconds up the road in the lead. Nobody else is really as close as I thought they would be. Kind of an inner session, as you would. Everybody trying to bring those intermediates up to temperature, test them out, get the feel of the track and how it is cooperating with the car with the rain. The rain still coming down quite heavily though. Not as much, and the clouds are actually diminishing, so it might go drier than quicker than I thought it would. Especially for some of these drivers, quicker than they thought it would. Amadeo sets the fastest lap of the race with a 46.7, and a bunch of guys just got something. I'm not sure. I think Mattis Gamerboss set the fastest lap, and Shuf picked up a 3-second time penalty. He is catching that Alfa Romeo. Esteban Thomas crashed out of this race. Where has that happened? We do have a full course safety car, ladies and gentlemen. Where is SF1 Tom? Right on board with SF1 Carlos. Oh my gosh, his car is upside down. That is something you don't see every day. I would like to see that in a replay. SF1 Tom's car is completely upside down. So Amadeo is going to pull up to the back of the safety car as Soap gets a drive-through for speeding under the safety car. SF1 Tom has left the session. You can understand why. Unfortunate drive for himself this evening. Hopefully he can bring a better momentum into the Mexican Grand Prix next week. Harrison gets a drive-through for speeding under the safety car. That is not going to help his championship at all. He's going to have to serve that as soon as they go back to green flag racing, and that's going to drop him pretty much down to behind his teammate, Aruzia, who's sitting P14. Amadeo yet to pull up to the back of the safety car. I believe the safety car will pick them up just after this lap. Is he behind the safety car? Not yet, he's not. I think they're all following the safety car Delta before they can pick up the back of the safety car. Is anybody going to decide to pit here? I don't think so. Well, we have Mattis Gamerboss tried to sell a dummy. Didn't work on Anton. Everybody's calmly making their way around to pick up the safety car. So McLaren's woes get even worse this season with SF1 Tom crashing out of this race, only leaving SF1 Carlos, who is an Alfa Romeo driver, kindly setting in for the McLaren. They desperately need points as they're sitting at the bottom of the combined constructors table as Almondale has picked up the back of the safety car. So we'll ride with this man for a little moment's time until everybody gets close enough that the safety car pulls in, and we'll be back to racing. So as we're under safety car, instead of waiting until lap 12, we'll give you guys a look at the penalties as we have them right now. Harrison has that drive through as well. So we have Shuf on 6 seconds. Anton has 3 seconds. Hellboy has 3 seconds. Carlos has 3 seconds. And Aruzia has 3 seconds. So we're going to jump back to the tire situation. Actually, intermediates for these guys. Wondering how long they will last until the dry weather does start to show up. Now famously, these guys in GP1 got really used to wet weather racing as of last season when we had our shorter season heading into the 2020 game release. They had what I call SF1 GP1 wet season, where I think it was 14 out of 20 of their races were considered wet. They had wet rain during those races, and a lot of them got sick of it. So let's see, everybody's pretty much gotten back to the back of the pack. So it should be just about one more lap around following the safety car before we go back to a green flag racing. Soap is picking up the field. Carlos is picking up the field and almost slides the car off of the course. Abdi has caught the back of the pack, warming the tires now. A lot of these guys going to sit there and try to keep these tires and the temperatures in them. Look through the rest of these guys. Stig sitting P2. Stig, I bet, is probably feeling pretty happy, even though he's very unwell right now. He was borderline not going to make this race this evening, and now he's found himself in P2 for this race. So I wonder if his feelings are a little different currently. I know he had a league race on, I believe it was Tuesday, and he's still feeling unwell. And he ended up winning that race, but he told me afterwards he had to dispatch clothing because he was sweating that much. Little TMI, but hopefully that's not the case this evening. Amadale holding on. Will the top three be able to have a good battle here? Anton is sitting on 3 seconds. We know he is quick. We know he's esports quick. He's in the current trials for the Xbox League. So make sure you keep an eye on him. I know he had to switch his gamer tag. He was running VSR Anton. So if you guys watch the Challenger series for Xbox and you want to cheer on a driver, make sure you cheer on this man. Up and coming driver. Very nice man. Very skilled too. I wish I had the capacity that I could drive like he does. Watching some of his hot laps are intense. Safety car is back in this lap, so let's jump on board with Amadale. Is he going to stack the field? Sitting in that Haas. Looks like he is definitely going to back this field up. Safety car does launch away a little quicker and a little sooner at this track. You have a couple more corners to navigate before you can really put the throttle down. How long is he going to stack these guys? It looks like everybody's going to be stacked. Careful not to run into the back of each other. That's not the best scenario. As Anton gets a 5-second for severe collision with Benny. Or Zero. I'm gonna call you Benny for the rest of my life. I promise. Apologies there, Zero. So that's going to hinder what that might be a clip for the stewards, the GP1 stewards. We'll see. Amadale sets off. Stick gets a 5-second for Amadale. A collision with Amadale, so that's going to crush him just a bit. Mattis Gamer Boss gets a good start on that Alfa Romeo going into turn 1 and up the hill. Is he going to have a run on him? Looks like it's going to be the case. Let's jump on board with the Mattis Gamer Boss. He gets P2. Anton now in P4. Trying to chase down the lead of this race. Goes a bit wide into the S's, following that Alfa Romeo. We have a move, Chattalulu and Hellboy. Harrison gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I'm telling you guys, the penalties tonight are going to be killer. It's going to be exactly like the GP2 race where I'm going to not have an idea of where people are going to finish until they cross that line. Hellboy picks up a 3-second time penalty. Everybody really close here. Zero following the pack. P1 is in vision. And so a little further back. I thought we had a couple guys going off in the background. But they were just making that left-hand turn. Couple guys in the back fighting it out. Hubdy sitting P11. Carlos just behind that Alfa Romeo driver. Soap just behind him. And Rusia there. So this is going to be unfortunate. Harrison is going to have to serve that drive-through. See if he does it this lap around. Not making anything easier on himself. The title might go into Mexican Grand Prix next week. Will this man move in for his drive-through this time around? Best to do it as soon as possible so you don't lose too much time racing. He's going to serve it this time around. Is Soap going to do so? Doesn't look to be the case. Rusia having quite a battle here at the back of the pack with Soap and Carlos. Harrison pulls in the pits to serve his drive-through. Let's look at the front of the guys racing here. Anton's still behind Stig. Chattalulu gets a 3-second time penalty. Watching this battle, I'm kind of just keeping my eyes on a couple of things that are going on. Everybody here for P3 is all within a second of each other. Let's jump on forward with Stig and see the rear view mirror. It looks like the rain is starting to dissipate a lot more. Anton's thinking about making a light dive for it. Almost for trying to pull a Daniel Ricciardo. Not close enough though, so he's going to have to stick behind the Alfa Romeo for the time being. Though he is pointing that nose of that racing point closer and closer. Stig locking up just a bit. I can hear it in the tires. Is the rain still falling? It is. However, it's definitely getting a lot lighter. Easy does it around this turn. You can see the guys feathering the throttle as much as possible. Keep an eye on some of the other guys that are racing here. Amandale sets the fastest lap of the race, so he is definitely improving on his pace here. 1 second up the road from Mattis Gamer Boss, who's sitting P2. Stig following a further 1.4. He does have a time penalty to his name as well. So, Mattis Gamer Boss. My Siri, don't talk to me, Siri. For some reason, when I stream, sometimes Siri likes to try to pick up and talk as well. Mattis Gamer Boss sitting with no penalties. Could this be his race? He has to hold on to the back of Amandale and keep it clean. Keep that nose pointing in the right direction for the Red Bull. As Juan Carlos gets a 3-second time penalty. So these penalties are really starting to kick in. Lap 12. Harrison sitting 9 seconds away from his teammate in P13. He needs to finish P7, but that might be a tall order depending on what happens in the remainder of this race. Juan Carlos chasing Hubdy. We have Arussia chasing Juan Carlos. Let's take a look at this battle going on. That's not the camera angle I wanted. Arussia just behind the McLaren driver this evening of Juan Carlos. Hubdy just ahead of them for P10 on the grid. Hubdy sitting clean on penalties though. We saw on Friday, it paid off big time for Postglad, who's he picked up the win on track. Livid Opossum won on the track, but Postglad won because of no penalties. Keeping it clean sometimes can make a huge difference in league racing, as Amandale sets another fast lap for the race with a 46.1. Arussia got a little out of control there. Caught the car though. Little nail biter. Spinning the back tires, trying to get the grip on to the track. Sector 3 yellow. Who might that be for? Keep an eye on anybody. Was that Chattalulu? No, Sector 3 would be Soap. Wonder what has happened to Soap. Mattis Gamer Boss, 3-second time penalty. Schoof gets a 3-second time penalty. So, Mattis Gamer Boss's advantage has kind of disappeared now, as he's now sitting on level penalties with Amandale. Everybody's still super close. It's getting harder and harder to pass. I know United States Grand Prix is a hard track to pass, especially in the rain. If you don't have any aids, such as DRS is a main one for that. As you see, you can watch most of these guys pull up pretty much next to them or right behind them, but they can't get around the car ahead. Keep an eye on the rest of these guys, the battles that are happening. Let's jump on board with Hellboy and look at the rearview mirror of what he has coming up. Hubdy and SF1 Carlos just behind him. Lap 13 in the books, going on to lap 14. Hellboy trying his best to hold on to P9. Harrison now is catching the back of Arussia, 7.5 seconds. Have to keep an eye on him, as he is trying to drive for a championship this evening. Juan Carlos having quite a nice race this evening in that McLaren. Hellboy gets a little out of control there at the exit of the final chicane. Hubdy's going to have a look into turn 1. Is this going to be? No, it's going to hold. Just wait for his moment. patience is virtue when it is raining on the track. I believe the rain has stopped though. I don't see any rain following from any of these drivers, so this track is going to dry out soon. Hellboy picks up a 3-second time penalty. When are we going to see those dry compounds set to the cars? I'm going to guess probably around lap... What does the track look like right now? It's definitely a racing line. Carlos picks up a 3-second time penalty. I'm going to guess that it is going to go completely dry for these guys in 2 laps time, and they're going to move into the pits and put on a medium compound to take those to the end. As Anton's thinking about making a move on SF1 Stig. Is it going to make... No, side by side. Stig's going to have the traction to pull away and hold on to P3 for the time being. Aruzia makes a pass for SF1 Carlos down in P11. This is all helping Zero hold on to the back of Anton. Can he get a run on that racing point at any time soon? He does have Enzo catching him quickly, though. Shuf sitting P7. At lap 16, I'll give you guys a look at the penalty situation so far, as I know a lot of more penalties have come in since we've looked. As you can see, Soap gets one as I'm speaking of it. It's a bit of a commentator's curse. So lap 16, I'll give you guys a look. 1 lap's time. Amandale still holding on to the lead of this race. 1.5 seconds. Stig trying to chase down Menace Gamer Boss for P2. 2.4 seconds. Everybody apart from Enzo and Hubdy clear on penalties alone. Look at the battle here still with Hubdy, Aruzia, and Carlos. Aruzia holding on to the back of Hubdy. Let's see this battle. I know these two neck and neck on points for, I believe it's P8 in the championship. Or P7. Tries. Still a lot of spray coming up from those intermediates, though. SF1 Carlos gets another 3-second time penalty. Yeah, so the track is not dry as of yet. You see all the spray coming from the tires, so it's definitely not a dry compound situation. Still looking around. Maybe I was a little off. It could be lap 18 that you see the dries go on, which in that case would definitely be a soft compound going on. I believe that we're going to get a soft compound at the end of this race. Oh, Aruzia locks up heavily. These guys just can't make a move to get a position yet. The United States is kind of weird like that. It has a lot of passing opportunities, but it's really hard to make a pass, especially in the rain when you don't have DRS. All you have is your fuel mixture and your ERS to use to get around the car ahead. Giving these guys some TV time as Aruzia is making a look at the side of that Alfa Romeo. Backs out of it. Patience. Thinking about making a move in the final chicane here as we have SF1 Carlos going to dive for the pits. He's going to be the first to look at a dry compound as Aruzia makes it stick and gets himself up to P10. Hubdy down in P11. Aruzia is making gains here. What is Carlos going to put on that car? He is going to put medium compound as Aruzia gets a 3-second time penalty. Is that going to pay off for SF1 Carlos? Keep an eye on the guys ahead. Give you guys a rundown of the penalties. As I mentioned, let's look. Amadale sitting on 11 seconds worth of penalties. We have Manus Gamer Boss. Anton making quite a move. Can he make it stick here? He does. But the rest of the points we have, or not the points, penalties. Manus Gamer Boss 3 seconds. Anton 8 seconds. Stig 5 seconds. Zero sitting on 8 seconds. Enzo is clear. We have Shuf sitting on 9 seconds. We have Chattalulu on 6 seconds. Carlos gets another 3-second time penalty. We have Hellboy 9, Aruzia 9, Hubdy clear. 3 seconds to Harrison, 15 seconds to SF1 Carlos, and 3 seconds to Soap sitting in P14. Jump back to the tire situation. Take a look at the delta between Soap and Carlos and see if dries are the way forward right now. Another amazing aerial camera. Wow, this one's been on quite a lot. I like it. Nobody diving for the pits as of yet. I wonder, yeah, I think it's just a little too early for those dry compounds. Take a look down the rest of the field. We have a good battle between these guys are still going after it. Ruzia trying to chase down Hellboy just ahead. Spray is still coming from the track onto those tires, so it's not dry quite yet. I believe it definitely not helping that the sun's not completely out yet. Chattaloola holding on. Let's see. Zach Carlos. Carlos spins to the McLaren into the wall. Is he going to stay out on the medium compounds? He's going to give it a go. Track is drying, but you can see he's really, really fighting to put the power down on the medium compounds heading up the hill. Let's see how his braking zones are. Locks up just a bit. No smoke coming from those tires yet either, so track is still a little bit of damp. You can see a little bit of the water laying on the track. Lap, yeah, it's got to be this lap or next lap that these guys are going to go to the soft compound. Jump on board with some of these drivers. How are they getting on with intermediates? Definitely starting to struggle on the intermediates. You see how much they're not putting in the full throttle down. Stig runs a bit wide. Is this going to be Zero's moment? No, he backs out of it. He's going to follow the Alfa Romeo across the final left-hand turn across the start-finish line. 10 laps remain of this race. Coming up into turn 1. Looks like Zero just about got the position from SF1 Stig. Was there a bit of contact? They're going to go side by side. No, okay. Looks like Stig is going to fall to P5 for the time being. Enzo just behind. Now it's Harrison 1.3 seconds off of Hubdy. We have a move here. Let's take a look. Arussia, he was really close to the back of that Renault, but he backed off, I believe. Harrison gets himself a 3-second time penalty. That is not going to help his championship hopes this evening. I think it might just about go to the Mexican Grand Prix. What is going on here? Hellboy gets a bad run, and Hubdy and Arussia are thinking about a move. Arussia is going to put to the inside. Hellboy is really starting to struggle on those intermediate tires. Do I have the gear glitch on Hubdy? I do. Still gets a 3-second time penalty. Is Hubdy going to send it here? He's going to think about making a move. Ooh, that was close. Harrison right there as well. These guys really battling it out in the back of the pack. Yellow sector 1. Who could that be for? Harrison makes his way around Hubdy, putting the shoulders out with that Mercedes. I have the gear glitch on. I believe it is Hubdy, but it is a bit of a weird one. DRS is enabled. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a good indication. Dry compounds are now in play. Amadeo dives into the pits, going to serve a 5-second stop go. Putting on the soft compounds to take him until the end. That Gamer Boss stays out. Enzo stays out because his teammate dives to the pits. He doesn't want to double stack. Although at this point, I would almost consider double stacking, even if, because you're gonna lose a lot of time on that track with the intermediates on. We'll see how that pans out for him. Carlos gets another 3-second time penalty. But those medium compounds should be into play now for him. He doesn't have a whole front wing, so he's gonna have to pull into the pits and put on a soft compound. Abdi on his way out, Harrison on his way out, chasing Hellboy. DRS is available for these guys. However, nobody is close enough here at the back stretch to use it on the back stretch. Baddest Gamer Boss. Can he get himself into the pits before Amadeo is chasing him down, though? As well as Enzo. Russia makes his way up to P4, but he's yet to pit on those intermediates. He's going to have to dive. SF1 Carlos, 10-second track, or 10-second penalty for exceeding track limits. Where has that happened? I think that's a bit harsh because he doesn't have a front wing, so he's gonna have to dive for the pits. Not sure where he extended that harshly though. Ah, he's moving out of the way for the other guys in GP1. Pulling way over into the grass here. SF1 Carlos, another 10-second time penalty. I wonder if he's going to pull into the pits and retire the McLaren, or if he's going to give it another go to finish. We have a couple more guys diving into the pits. Chattalulu has gone to a medium compound to take himself to the end of this race. Definitely soft times, Croce says. Carlos has retired the McLaren. Keep an eye on Dale. Menace Gamer Boss going for the lead here at the race. Whoa, Menace Gamer Boss a little out of control. Amadale makes a clean move around the outside, so keeping a look at these two battling for the lead of this race. Harrison sitting P11, still needs to make up a couple of positions. Zero has crashed out. Where is Zero crashed out of this race? Let's jump on board with his teammate. Where's he at? Oh, he's down over in the hill. He must have lost traction, so he's down P8. Or not P8, but yeah, that unfortunate for Zero this evening. He was running really good this evening. And he's out of this race with 8 laps remaining, leaving the session. Can understand why. Hopefully his luck is a little better in the Mexican Grand Prix. Copycat of GP2. This is, yeah, it definitely is. Safety car is out, so these guys are going to have probably a 6-lap shootout or a 4-lap shootout, depending on how much we do have so quite a ways off of the lead pack. This is going to play a big part at the end of the race with penalties that are on board. This could be this man's race this evening as he's sitting clear on sheet. This could play into this man's cards because now he is sitting P9. All he needs is P7 and that title is his. What is going to happen in 8 laps time? Closer eye on some of these guys. I'm going to keep an eye on this man, though, as well as Hubby. No commentator's curse for myself this evening. Can they keep it clean the whole way through the race and pick up a lot of positions off of the guys ahead of them that do have time penalties? Will Chattalulu pull for the pits for a soft compound? We'll have to take a look. You have nothing to lose if you do. No, he's going to stay out on track on P7 with the medium compound. Locks up the tires. So I think he's trying to keep the heat in the tires. So Amadale should have picked up the back of the safety car. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 21 laps in it. Let's take a look at the time penalties. We have 6 seconds to Amandale. Manus Gamer Boss still on 3. Anton 3 seconds. Enzo sitting clean. Stig on 3 seconds. Shoof is on 9 seconds. Chattalulu's on 6. Hellboy's on 9 seconds. Harrison's on 6 seconds. Aruzia is on 9 seconds. And we have Hubdy clear. Soap sitting on 3 seconds. It's a good stop so far. A lot of guys, all of them except for 2 drivers, have made 2 stops in this race. Let's look at positions. Anton up 10 positions, which you would expect from such a quick driver. We have Amadale is up 1. Shoof is up 3 positions. Harrison's up 6 positions. We have Stig up 1. Our biggest loser so far is Aruzia, who's down 5 positions. We have Enzo down 1. We have Manus Gamer Boss down 1. We have Hubdy down 1. And we have Soap down 1. So let's jump back to... we definitely know that these guys are mostly all on these soft compounds, so we're just going to take that away for the time. For the remainder of the race and keep it clear. Actually, I could probably put up the penalties so we can keep an eye on those for the rest of the race. A better idea of who's going to finish where. Not sure where these guys are going to finish. It looks like we're going to go into lap 23 with a safety car. As Soap is trying to catch the back pack. He's on... where's he at now? He's in Sector 3 coming up to catch up to these guys. Right, keeping my eye on what is going to happen towards the end of this race. Can the Haas team put a double podium in this evening? Can Mattis Gamerbox spoil these guys' race? He is sitting in 3 seconds. Amadale is no slouch, so he's going to have to get around and really push for that 3-second gap. All of them are pretty much on fresh softs going into this restart, except for Chattalulu, who I believe is still on the medium compound. He is. So he's going to be a bit of a challenge for him to keep the temperature in those tires and have a good restart. He's going to have to keep an eye on the guys that are behind him, all on soft compound. Harrison has to make 2 positions, only 2, to get that championship. Can he do it? He is on 6 seconds worth of penalties though, so he's on tied with Chattalulu. Schuf is on 9, so he has a good shot here. We have the safety car back in this time around. Let's get ready to go back to racing. We're going to have a 6-lap shootout, so these guys will see DRS towards the end of the race for just about 3 laps. Amadale bunching the pack up, getting ready to go. Hopefully these guys have gotten the temperature back in the tires. Keep an eye on that Racing Point. We know he's no slouch in the dry. Amadale just taking his time. Let's see when he actually puts the throttle down. We'll keep an eye on the Red Bull driver as well. Enzo's one to think. I think Enzo's put the throttle down. No, he has not. He's sold a dummy. When is he going to put it down now? He's put it down now. Mattis Gamerbox gets a really good run, though. Is he going to have a run at him at turn 1? This is good view. Camera view. Yes, perfect time for this. Amadale's going a bit defensive into turn 1. It looks like, Mattis Gamerbox is going to put it into the lead. What a move, but Amadale's going to come back at him before the essence of the race. Mattis Gamerbox, what a punchy move to the restart of this race. Pulls it into the front as Amadale's now behind. Anton chasing down that Haas driver as Soap picks up a 3-second time penalty. That was a punchy move from Mattis Gamerbox. He's going to have to push on. Anton and Amadale having a little bit of contact between each other. Ooh, that's close. Side by side. Both drivers know each other quite well. Amadale is going to hold behind the Racing Point. Is he going to have a switchback move? No, it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Anton chasing down Mattis Gamerbox now. 1.2 seconds is the gap. Enzo chasing these guys down. Stig, Schuf right there. All these guys really close on this restart. Harrison's still sitting P9. He's got to make up 2 positions. His teammate just behind him. Hubdy's just behind the 2 Mercedes guys. Jump on board with the Alfa Romeo driver. Running a bit wide. Anton gets another 3-second time penalty. Trying to chase down Mattis Gamerbox. Oh, Soap goes ahead on the final move. What has happened? Soap's let Enzo through. Amadale's let I'm getting tongue-tied. Amadale has let Enzo through. I wonder if he's going to allow him to try to push to get behind Anton, use his toe. Stig now just behind the 2 Haas drivers. Schuf gets another 3-second time penalty. As I mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, these time penalties are going to come in pretty thick in this race. This track is very, very harsh on him for some reason. Schuf having a look at the Alfa Romeo driver. Stig locks up heavily. Anton, 1 second between himself and Mattis Gamerbox. Enzo, 1.8 seconds down the road. No DRS as of yet. It will be enabled next lap around. It won't be the next lap, or it'll be the following lap. We are in lap 24, so 4 laps are going to remain for these guys to fight it out towards the end. Harrison gets himself up to P8, 1 position in it. Can he chase down Hellboy and do this on track rather than penalties? It is up to this man to do it. Everybody's super close though, so I have no idea where everybody's going to finish with these penalties. Fast laps coming in now that it is dry and these guys are running soft compound. DRS is now available for these guys. Zia coming up to turn 1. Is he going to have a run on Chad? No, he backs out of it. Anton was within a second, and now he's really trying to push the issue. I know he definitely cut that corner just a bit. And for some reason, I thought I saw rain, but that's not to be the case. And so 2.2, Amandale just behind his teammate. Stiggs just behind Amandale. Harrison just get into P7. What has happened there? Hellboy, so not sure what happened there. Couple guys losing a bit of position. Here we go. Will Stig have a run? He's a little further back. How about Schoof on Stig? Stig's just behind there. Schoof holds on to P6. As Arusi is going to think about making a move on Chattalulu. Bit of contact into that. Side by side. Let's take a look. Both lock up a bit. Both Renaults right there as well. Hubdy has a great little view of what's going on ahead of him. Hubdy does collect a time penalty though. Keep an eye on the rest of these guys. Hellboy gets a 3-second time penalty. This could be this man's race if he can hold on to the guys ahead of him. Staying clean so far on time penalties alone. Chattalulu and Arusi is still going after it. Whoa! Whoa! Chattalulu loses the back end of the car and slides into the wall. Harrison picks up a 3-second time penalty. So that could play into the championship. Oh, the gear glitch is killer on this game. Why have they not gotten rid of it? Schoof gets another 3-second time penalty. Okay, at this point, I have no idea where anybody's going to finish with time penalties. Take a look now. Addis Gamer Boss is putting the throttle down. He's 1.6 seconds up the road from Anton. Anton sitting on time penalty. Enzo and Amandale having a nice little go here to make their manager, SF1 Carlos, bite his fingernails a little bit more. Both keeping it clean though. They had a Titanic battle in France. I remember that. I'm sure that Carlos remembers it as well. Stig sitting P6. Harrison just behind SF1 Stig. These two have history on track. Two constructors battling it out for the title towards the end of the season. It's definitely not going to be settled within the next couple of races. It's going to be coming down to the final. But you have them right on board here. Harrison chasing down SF1 Stig. Soap gets another 3-second time penalty. This man where he needs to be to grab that title with the penultimate lap now starting. Following SF1 Stig into turn 1. Keep an eye on what's going on. Sector 1 yellow. Who could that be for? Is that... That's Chad again, he's off. There's mediums I think are just starting to fail, or if he's having a bit of difficulty with them. Keep an eye on the rest of the guys. Anton 1.4 seconds now separates him from that Red Bull driver at the top. Enzo sitting P3. Amandale sitting P4. Anybody going for a move? Harrison on Stig. Harrison's going to pull to the inside. Stig. Is he going to put... No. Whoa, that was close. Harrison moves past SF1 Stig. On track. Going to give you guys a penalty count, but I'm going to keep it a secret just to see where these guys land at the end of the race. Closest battle now is between these guys in the back. As Chattalulu's now sitting 11 seconds off of these guys. Hubdy is having a look at Hellboy. Final lap has started for the guys in the lead. Mattis Gamer Boss. Can he hold on to the lead, cross the line to win this race? Enzo, though, he's right there if he wants to grab that win. Here we go. Hubdy and Hellboy side by side. Why did it jump away from that? Oh, there's a tire. He's gonna get the inside line coming down turn 1. Hellboy is gonna try to hold on side by side. Don't make contact, guys. You know this. Oh, that was huge. I think that's gonna be definitely a clip for the stewards. And here comes Chattalulu. Still gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Let's jump up here. Addis Gamer Boss. What a race. Grabs pole position. Can he convert it to a win this evening? 1.7 seconds separates himself from Anton. Both have a time penalty, as well as Amadeo. This man's sitting clean following his teammate. This man's going to cross the line in P1 to win the race. Sector 2 yellow. Not sure what that's for. Soap and Hellboy. Few corners remain for this man to navigate. One final left-hand turn. Will he maintain the win here at the United States Grand Prix? Crosses the line in P1. Anton's going to cross in P2 for the time being. Amadeo's going to cross P3. Enzo's going to go to P2. Harrison goes to P5. Amadeo, Anton. I think that's going to be your podium, ladies and gentlemen. Sig goes to P5. Takes over P6. Is anybody else going to take over? I think this is Harrison's title this evening by 1 position. Chattalulu crosses P10. Hubdi crosses. Not sure where he's going to finish out. P10. Ugh, what a race. Anton is the driver of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Let you guys enjoy the podium celebrations, and then we'll be on to the podium interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, your race results for the United States Grand Prix round 19. Mattis Gamer Boss picks up the win after setting pole position, so quite a home run for himself this evening. Enzo grabs P2. Anton finishes out your podium in P3. Amadale P4. Stig P5. We have Harrison P6 winning the Drivers' Championship. We have Ruzia P7. Shoof P8. Hellboy P9. Hubdi P10. Chattalulu P11. Soap P12. Zero, unfortunately, a casualty to this race, as well as Carlos and SF1 Tom. So let's get into that podium interview. I need that, and I need that. So let me get these guys in. Gotta go to Gamer Boss. Enzo. And this man. Alright, let's see who we have so far. Anton is here, we have Gamer Boss here, we have Harrison. I don't know if Enzo will join or not. He is here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get these podium interviews underway. And we are going to start with P3. Anton, what a race you had for yourself starting in the back. Had a little bit of trouble in qualifying and validating a couple of your laps, starting right around SF1 Carlos and Harrison, working your way through the field. And I think it was by lap 2, you're already P5 in the grid. A couple of penalties, though, fell your way into the race. So a little bit of a tough one. Definitely had the pace, and then at the end, stint after the safety car, chasing that Red Bull at the end, crossing the line for P3. Talk us through your race, Anton.
Hi, first of all, no, not Carlos. I don't know why. Yeah, that was pretty shit one to be honest in qualifying. I don't like this track, so it's like my worst one of the season. So I wasn't expected that much. I didn't watch the weather,
Yeah.
before starting the qualifying. So that's why Enzo told me on Messenger it's raining for the race. So I was like, what the fuck?
It might be
I was like, oh shit, P13 under the wet condition. That was like horrible because I had a completely dry setup. The 111 suspension was like oversteer as fuck. I was nowhere in traction, so yeah, I was pretty happy with the dry race at the end because I managed to come back, and yeah, the safety car helped me a lot as well. And yeah, I took 5 seconds because the guy behind just when I was eating, my brake, he just went completely into my car, so that's why I took 5 seconds. That cost me maybe P1 because we gained 5 seconds, and when we put the soft compound tires, so yeah. Pretty happy to be honest with P3, but yeah, GG to Maddest Gamer Boss and Enzo with no penalty.
A solid race from yourself. Congrats, Anton. Definitely a podium, so it's not that terrible of a race. I know a
Yeah,
lot of guys that don't like this track. It's pretty tough on penalties, I think, as well.
yeah.
But one final congrats to yourself this evening.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, we're gonna move on to P2. Enzo, if you're here, congratulations. Had
yes.
quite a race with your teammate at the beginning in the wet. You guys kind of just tailed off, getting a better start than Manus Gamer Boss. And then a couple of the, definitely not double stacking in the pits. I noticed you guys choosing when to pit. And I mean, just the battle between yourself and Amandale, and then Amandale allowing you to go through because he had a couple time penalties, allowing you to chase the guys down ahead of you. Just not enough laps in it to put yourself a little bit closer to get that win. Just give us a rundown of your race.
Yeah, great start for me. Great race because with this rain, it was so hard, and I was angry with my pits because I had to take another lap, and yeah, it was very hard for me. But yeah, P2 is lucky, I think, because I was no penalty with the safety car. But I'm happy. I want to win, but Maddest Gamer Bros was very quick tonight, and I try next week.
That's what we love to hear. It's always next week, mate. So congratulations on your P2. Hopefully Mexico goes swimmingly for you.
I don't understand the question.
What's that?
He didn't understand.
Oh, that wasn't a question. Just saying, hopefully Mexico goes well for you next week.
Mexico, it's a hard track because on every lap I shoot to be fast and with other drivers very quick. I think it will be not easy for me.
So, well, congratulations
Train,
one last time.
Thank you.
We're gonna move on to our winner this evening, grabbing pole position and putting the pace down, keeping it quite a lovely race. A little bit soft on the start, but picking up the positions as you guys, or the laps ticked on through Manus Gamer Boss. What a restart towards the end, putting it right ahead of, I believe it was Amandale, restarted the race after the safety car, and just putting the throttle down and keeping yourself ahead and picking up that win. Give us a rundown, because that was one solid evening for yourself.
Yeah, thanks. It started qualifying. I didn't know it was going to rain. Me neither. But I was supposed to qualify on mediums, but luckily I took one last run with the softs and got pole. The start was horrible, probably my worst start in F1 history. But yeah, kept my cool and kept not getting penalties. Just it was so hard in the rain. I haven't practiced any of it, so I was really struggling the first couple of laps. And Antoine was pushing me behind, but I kept him behind. And when they come to the inters, I started to gain pace, and I started to catch a Menadil. And at the safety car restart, I noticed that right before they were going to drive, they didn't warm the tires. And I really noticed that I got past the second place man. His tires were so cold, and I did the same thing in the last safety car restart. I tried to warm my tires as much as I could, and Menadil got a quite poor exit out of the last corner, and I got him into turn one. And after that, we just keeping the distance to Antoine and not getting any penalties, and yeah, P1.
Solid race this evening. Congratulations, Gabe.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we're going to move on to the Mexican Grand Prix for these drivers next week. But before we sign off, we have one more man to talk to. And I know he's patiently waiting and he's sitting quiet. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move on to the man who's finally secured his first GP1 title. Harrison, I'm not going to take anything away from yourself. What a tough race this evening to put yourself under to grab that title starting, I think it was P15, pretty much at the back of the grid. With the rain and the penalties coming in, I didn't know if it was going to be for certain, but you did pull it off. You have the floor. Congratulations.
Thanks. God, I don't even know where to start because I know most of the season's been basically by good strategy called by good qualifying and a few bad races there and there, but me and Aruzia have helped each other during this race to help me secure the championship for GP1. But I'm just speechless at the minute because after 3 attempts, Enzo winning either 2 and me winning this one, it's just like I'm just speechless.
Yep, you're allowed to be speechless. That's how it goes. But yeah, the titanic battle between you and Enzo in the last 2 seasons, and this time finally getting that nice run through the season to get yourself that championship. All the best wishes for yourself, Nate. Congratulations.
Thank you, Kyle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it. One final congratulations to all 3 podium sitters, as well as our GP1 title winner. We are going to move on into the Mexican Grand Prix next Sunday, same time, same channel for round 20. The season is coming close to a close, so make sure you tune in. Until then, everybody have a solid week. Stay safe. We'll see you soon. And we are going to sign out. Good night, and see you next week at the Mexican Grand Prix.